I'm Realisat and I'm sitting here with...
Marc Hudson from DragonForce.
Yeah. Actually, you're touring with Epica. What do you think about the band?
They're a cool band, and more importantly, they're a cool bunch of guys as well. So when you're on tour with a band, it's always important that the two bands get on. And so far, we've had a good time. Last year we were touring with them, and then this year this is the second leg of the tour. So we've got to know each other and stuff, and I think the music complements each other as well. DragonForce and Epica, kind of different, but where one band ends, the other kind of takes off, I think. So yeah, it's cool.
Today is your second show in Germany. Are you excited?
Yeah, I really like playing in Germany because I've got really good memories from 2012 when we played with Huntress and Kissing Dynamite. And also I speak a tiny bit of German, which I'm not going to do now, and so does Fred. So we can have a bit of fun on stage and talk to people. So yeah, it's always good.
Yesterday you played in Bochum, today in Hamburg, and Leipzig and Berlin will follow. Did you see anything about Germany actually, and what do you think about German fans?
So far we have seen absolutely nothing because we had the kind of 4 or 5 hour drive from Bochum to Hamburg today, and obviously we arrived just before that, so we haven't had time to explore anything, which is kind of normally the way with touring because you have to just you go to the hotel, you go to the venue, but hopefully there's a couple of days off so we can go and see some stuff, and I kind of look forward to that because it's a bit of a shame coming to Germany and then not seeing anything. So yeah.
In Bochum, Vadim wasn't with you because his wife is pregnant.
Yes.
How is it on stage without a keyboarder?
It's fine. We basically have to make do what we can because he can't be here. But actually, the baby was born last night, which is cool. So he's a father today. He's very happy, and his wife and baby are doing well. So that's really cool. We wish him all the best, and it would be cool if he was here. But at the same time, he has his priorities. Fair enough,
I have to say congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, Vadim.
Marc, Maximum Overload is your second album with DragonForce. What changed in these 2 years?
Loads of stuff. I think since the beginning, The Power Within was the first album I did with DragonForce, and that one was it felt like me finding my feet, finding, there's probably not an expression that translates actually. It was kind of like obviously being my first album, it was Sam and Herman working with me to figure out what I can do and, how to use my voice best for the album. And Maximum Overload, I think, is like an evolution of the last one. So I think this time round we've pushed the boundaries a bit more with vocals and everything. And at the same time, the album itself is a bit more in the same vein as Inhuman Rampage. So it's a bit more guitars, more keyboard and stuff like that. So yeah, I think this album, I mean, we're all kind of in agreement this is the best DragonForce album we've done, but we would say that. But we actually do feel that. So I think it's really cool. And the success of it, especially in Germany, has been amazing. So yeah.
On previous tours, you had certain technical difficulties. For example, you were not able to hear yourself playing, and some people said you would make your solo sound faster on an artificial way. How important is a working team and equipment behind the curtain?
Really important. I mean, by and large, we always have a pretty good sound and stuff. There's always going to be one show or whatever where something goes wrong. But those people are important because we have a really amazing crew, and they kind of tie everything together at the end of the day. So we're the musicians who play the music, but if there's something technically goes wrong, then we kind of look at them confused, and it's their job to do that, and they're very good at that. So yeah, that's kind of a thing of the past, I hope.
Yes, agree. And isn't it especially a little bit unfair that unknown talented bands don't have the money to buy good equipment? And what would you give those bands for an advice?
I mean, the thing is, realistically, actually, I kind of prefer the kind of equipment you use when it's on the cheaper end of the scale. So for a singer, I like to use just a wedge, which is what every singer has, like a speaker that faces you. And I prefer that old school approach to having, in-ear monitors and everything. But so I think any band can make do with a limited budget. You just have to pick what you want carefully, basically. But obviously, as you do earn more money, it does get easier, I think. But yeah.
Maximum Overload has many shorter songs than on other albums. Was it an aware decision?
I think it's somewhere in the middle actually, because The Power Within had shorter songs, and then this one we've gone a bit longer. But again, it's more about the songwriting and the composition. So I think this album's got really well-written songs, and we don't want to do they're playing a solo for the sake of it, you know, like where just the solo for like 5 minutes, and you're kind of like we've kind of gone away from that a tiny bit. But then again. The Power Within, I think, was the stripped-down version, and now Maximum Overload is more that. So we're getting back to the kind of traditional DragonForce sound, I think.
Your lyrics are very diverse, some classical power metal themes and also modern themes. Do you have a general statement you wanted to make with the album?
I think Maximum Overload is a little bit different, and kind of The Power Within is too, and I know I would say that because they're the two that I was singing on. But the lyrics have kind of got a bit more serious and a bit more in-depth. So before, like, if you think of Valley of the Damned, the first album, I think in a way the lyrics have matured in some way. So now we've got Fred and Sam working together on the songwriting, and we all input our own ideas for lyrics. So the themes are quite diverse compared to before, because before it's all blah blah blah, dragons, and now it's kind of like I probably shouldn't have said that, but now it's kind of, I don't know, we address more complicated themes and stuff, and like Symphony of the Night and The Sun Is Dead, they're two ones that Fred was writing. So those lyrics are completely different to previous stuff. And yeah, we've got a ballad on the album as well called You're Not Alone. It's a bonus track, which I wrote the lyrics, I helped write the lyrics for. And again, that's a more serious lyrical approach. So I think it's cool. I don't see the point in listening to music where the lyrics don't really mean anything. I prefer it when they evoke something in you. So that's definitely the case with this album.
You said something about The Sun Is Dead. You like the song, and I think it's a very charismatic song. Do you know anything about the origin?
Yeah, that's a song that, like I said, Fred wrote that one, and it's kind of like it's an apocalyptic theme, basically. I mean, he's the guy to talk to about the lyrics, but it's that's a departure again from the fantasy stuff and kind of moving into a more kind of I don't know, moving into a realm that DragonForce haven't been in before, and yeah, the theme of that is just apocalypse, but it's a really fun song to sing, and I think the chorus is quite memorable, and yeah, it's an interesting way that we've gone with that, and hopefully in the next album we'll go even more kind of exploring new things.
What about the album title? Does Maximum Overload only mean many great songs, or is there another meaning? For example, the cover shows a picture.
Yeah, Maximum Overload kind of means, for I think for everyone it actually meant something different. But the main thing is, I think, that there's kind of the theme of the album, which is about just how people these days are so bombarded with information, and how, yeah, maximum overload in terms of that sense. Like, and at the same time, musically, it's an overload because we've gone from having these stripped back songs with, it's all about songwriting, and then to going and putting more stuff in them. So now we have more guitar, more blah blah blah, and so it's kind of maximum overload in terms of that. So yeah, it's kind of a take from it what you will, but in my opinion, it's kind of because we threw everything at this album. We got a new producer and stuff. We put a lot of effort into it. So yeah, kind of all tied together that way, I think.
Ring of Fire is a Johnny Cash cover. Do you know how this comes, how Sam gets this idea, and what do the band think about Johnny Cash and country?
Good question. Well, to be honest, the way the song came about was we wanted to do a cover that wasn't a generic metal cover, because any band could go and pick a song and just cover it and make it sound the same. So we thought, let's pick an iconic song from an iconic artist and put our DragonForce spin on it. And it kind of, I'm not going to say it's a joke song because it's not, like, we love playing it, but it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek kind of ode to Johnny Cash, like a homage or whatever. But yeah, the idea just came about from, we wanted to pick a song that would have an impact, basically, and obviously with the fame of Johnny Cash, we thought that song was good, and we all kind of like the original song. I'm not going to say we love it, but it's a good song, so we thought we could do a good job with it.
You made the documentation A Newfound Force, and there you can see that your new album is more than ever a community project. How important was this for you, and was it difficult to Sam to give the ruler away?
So what do you mean? Sorry,
give more, let more people working more on this process?
Oh yeah, I think Sam is kind of set in his ways with what he does, but he's written all the previous stuff and everything, and has always done a good job. But I think on this one, he let the reins loose a little bit, and was a bit uncomfortable and stuff, because it's kind of going from the original formula. But I think the album and everything kind of made an improvement as a result, to be honest. Yeah.
You have worked the first time with a producer, and Jens Borgren was many times, you spoke many times on a website and the documentation. What is the special thing about him, and will there be other cooperations in the future?
Yeah, well, the thing is, Jens is obviously an amazing producer. He's worked with loads of very great bands, and basically I think we found him, I think Sam and Fred, or maybe Herman actually found him, and yeah, based on the work he's done before, we were interested in what kind of influences he could put into our, into the mix, and yeah, him and Fred got together, and I think they both have a kind of love for the sort of thrashier, heavy stuff, and I think his input along with Fred kind of made the album a bit more kind of heavy in a way, and I think, yeah, who knows for the future? We haven't really discussed that yet, but we really enjoyed what he's done with the album, so it wouldn't surprise me if we were to go back or look at that kind of thing again.
On your bonus disc you have the live video of Cry Thunder from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do you plan a concert DVD in general?
Who knows? If only I knew. DragonForce is a band who's constantly thinking of new stuff, so maybe that's something we'll do, but I can't really say anything. We're right now we're touring. That's the important thing. When we get back, we're going to think about what happens next, basically.
What other plans do you have for the future?
Well, like I said, right now all I can see is that we're 2015 for us is booked up with shows. So we are basically on a world tour which is going to last us until next year. So for now, there's nothing really planned. We're just going to bring our best performance every night for the rest of the year, which is cool. So we're looking forward to that, seeing some new places as well.
At last, do you have a funny story from behind the curtain?
I hate that question. There's loads of funny stories, but let me think. I can't really think of one off the top of my head. Every night something unpredictable happens with our band, and I think because of the way we are, we're all kind of like the partying type. At least some of us are, anyway. Those kind of moments happen quite a lot, so it's hard to pick one, but I don't want to be boring, but I can't think of one right now off the top of my head.
Too much.
Too many weird moments for me to pick my favourite one, yeah.
Okay. Do you have last words for the fans?
Yeah, well, basically, we're extremely happy to be back in Germany again, because this is one of my favourite territories to be playing in, and we want to thank the fans for basically making Maximum Overload the success that it was, because I believe we're number 20 in the charts when the album came out. So yeah, huge thank you to those of you who have checked out the album, and if you haven't done, go and check it out now, and hopefully we'll see you on one of our live shows in Germany.
Thank you very much.
Cool, you're welcome.